Welcome to Politics NY with Skye Behind the Curtain, where we speak with different people who are running for office about who they are and what they stand for. And right now I'm with Mark Murphy. He's running for Staten Island Borough President. So how's it going over there, Mark?
Skye, it's going great. I'm very happy to be, on with you. You said Behind the Curtain. I'm glad it's not Between Two Ferns. I saw something on YouTube the other night. I was hoping it's not going to be uncomfortable.
I love that show with Zach
Galifianakis.
He's so funny. That's how I pitched this initially to Schneps. I wanted it to be like Between Two Ferns meets Drunk History or something like that.
Well, I will do my best to not disappoint.
Well, you're between this embroidered, it looks like Democrat pillow over there, which is kind of cool.
Yes, it's an old one.
So tell us about your candidacy a little bit. I recently learned that there actually are more registered Democrats on Staten Island than Republicans, which I don't think people realize.
Well, I don't know if it's actually true. I was talking to a political former elected official who said, show them to me, because you'll see. And I knock on 100 doors a day because I think it's my obligation, if I'm going to win this or run for a race, that you actually do the legwork too. So I knock on 100 doors a day and it'll say, oh, there are 5 Democrats in this house. They all have different last names and they're all varying ages, and you knock on the door, only one shows up. So I don't know how accurate that actually is. I do believe there may be a slight edge. They say there's 145,000 active Democrats to 105,000 active Republicans, and the rest would be the blank or the unaffiliated voter. And again, if it were that easy, then we'd always win. But I think the challenge is talking to people who are not as engaged, and that would be the unaffiliated voter, because they are the ones that I think are going to make the decision in this race this year.
And I think if someone's not that engaged, it comes down to the candidate's personality. And that's another goal of the show, is really to showcase who you are as a person. So tell us a little bit about yourself for people who don't know you.
Well, I'm Mark Murphy. I'm a businessman here from Staten Island. My beautiful wife, Jessica, and I live in the North Shore section in West Brighton. We live right near Snug Harbor, which is one of my favorite places in Staten Island, and really a cultural gem and a place that needs to be preserved and protected, as many of our cultures in Staten Island do. And it's a big dedication of mine to continue to do that. I've got 3 kids, and I love being a dad. It's really my favorite thing.
Yeah, see, those are nice, fun, easy ways to get to know you. What are some of the priorities maybe that you would bring into the administration as borough president that are different from what's currently happening?
Well, again, I know Jim Oddo, who's the borough president now. I like him a lot. He's a very kind guy. I think he's a very smart guy, and he's done a good job. But he has a very different style than I do. He's a much more professorial type, a little bit more introverted than I am. I like to think that I will be the most engaged, most proactive borough president that we've had, at least in this generation, and if not in the last, say, 40 years. We've had much older men in those jobs, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with my sort of pace. I pride myself on being, somewhat aggressive, not in a mean or nasty way, but, just I'd rather make an unforced, or I'd rather make an error on an aggressive side than one being passive. Oh, I forgot to do that. Really try to help every Staten Islander, because I really feel that the city of New York punishes us, and they don't give us our fair share, and it's my goal to get our fair share from the city.
So what can you do to bring more resources and more of everything to Staten Island?
Well, I think one of the big things that I've always said to voters is that we need to have a seat at the table. And there were times, in the leadership of the past, when we've had a Republican governor, a Republican mayor, you had a Republican borough president, they were able to actually capture some dollars for Staten Island. We don't have that. And I think that if you align yourself with negative national political figures, you're not going to be taken seriously in New York City. And that's just a fact of life. People say, oh, I can work across the aisle. There is no aisle in New York City right now. We have a very, very homogenous city council as it relates to their political affiliations. And I think it would be very difficult for a Republican to get our fair share back for Staten Island. That's why I got into this race, because I really saw that there is we're at a pivot point, if you will, with a brand new mayor, with brand new agency heads, to finally get a seat at that table, because I know Eric Adams for many, many years. I know many of the people who will appoint to leadership positions, and get our fair share back, actually change the way things have been done around here, and be proactive about engagement with the city instead of constantly fighting with the city and developing that moniker of the forgotten borough.
Is there one issue in particular that you feel that you can really champion?
Well, there are a couple, but one in particular is our infrastructure in Staten Island. As somebody who works in construction, somebody who has a background in real estate and understanding of Staten Island for generations, I think we need to make sure that the city of New York and the federal government, state government, who have these huge buckets of infrastructure dollars, they deliver them to Staten Island and they get deployed correctly. We have had terrible, terrible problems with flooding in many neighborhoods. It's impacting negatively the lives of so many Staten Islanders. I want to stop that problem here. I'm not going to be able to stop Sandy from hurting us, unless, of course, we can build that seawall quickly. But I want to make sure that the heavy deluges of rain that come in, that we don't have people's basements being filled and those sorts of things. To me, it's that quality of life that I want to try to enhance for people in Staten Island, and I think I can do that.
Thank you, Mark Murphy. Good luck to you in the Staten Island Borough President's race, and thanks for being part of PoliticsNY with Skye.
Skye, thank you so much.